Looks like we might have a little tool cache here. Gene's taking the video for me. I don't have my phone, but I pulled this piece out. I looked at it. It might be worked on that top edge. A very interesting. I think this is a little tool cache.
Sure is.
Yeah, how cool is that, Gene? I mean, they're crude as can all be, but is there any more?
I'm really hoping there's a good blade right there somewhere.
It's like a little quarry side. They're just chunks.
Yeah.
What is it, like 5 or 6 pieces? Interesting. It's
Cool.
a little tool cache.
Oh
my God, it keeps going.
Oh, I think there's gonna be a thin one somewhere, man. Keep going.
Right here. Let me set these down, buddy. This is exciting. Another.
Yeah, that's
Man,
that blue.
interesting. Yeah, that's that Georgetown blue. Big core. Again, another flake tool.
So cool.
Come on,
Come
point.
on, something good.
This is cool, though. I mean, it's probably
Yeah.
late archaic. It's up
Absolutely.
a little higher. It's only about 10 feet from the, it's about 10 inches from the top. Right where that hole is. That's it, man.
The shrew was right in there. He was digging right around it.
There's
Look.
another one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to get these cleaned up.
Heck yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, man.
There they are. There's the cache. There was a big stone with it as well. And I found them right pretty much where they're laying, maybe 3 inches higher. So they were only about 10 inches from the surface. So I'm thinking it's a late archaic cache. The material is really unique. It's the Georgetown blue flint that was really easy to work with. So just really, really cool stuff. I was taking the top off and running it through the screen, and I hit a rock with my shovel, and I stopped, and I didn't inspect the first one very much. I put it to the side, but the second piece I pulled out, I could tell it was definitely chert, and it had been worked a little bit. Some of these flakes have been worked on the edges. And so I knew right then it was probably a cache. Sure enough, Gene and I pulled them out one by one. It was really exciting. This stuff's really cool. They were right here, a little bit above where they're at now, all packed in tightly. Trying to remember the first one I pulled out. I think it was this piece. I didn't even recognize it as chert. And I'm not sure this is Georgetown blue. I think this could be Edwards possibly. That piece. But then the second piece I pulled out was this. And they were so close together. They just kept coming out. This is the Georgetown blue material. It's got a little patina on it. Some of these pieces do have patina. Most of them don't have micro flaking, but some of them have a little bit. So again, I think this is just a little cache of cores. It's probably cores, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe they were gonna make some projectiles out of these. This here looks like a little blade. It's actually got secondary flaking on that edge. So cool. This is one of my favorite finds to date, hand digging. I'm glad Gene was there. I was really excited. I was hoping some projectiles or knives would come out, but this is still really cool. And this large stone was right there as well. It's definitely an artifact, and I think it was a part of the cache. So all right, well, I'm gonna keep digging. It's been one of the better days I've had already, and it's almost lunchtime, so I'm gonna keep digging and take a lunch break, and we'll be back. All right, welcome back. It looks like we have yet another artifact, and it looks like a really nice one. It's laying right here. We're gonna pull it in a second, but I'm gonna show you what I've been doing. I've been putting that top layer and running it through the screen and then scraping this bottom half of the wall. And I was working my way left to right, just taking that back wall down to send through the screen. And there's a beautiful artifact right there. It's got a good tip. I don't know if the base is there. I haven't pulled it. I ran over to get my phone as soon as it came out, so looks like a well-made projectile point. All right, I'm gonna zoom in on it. All right, let's take a look. Yes, the base is there. Very cool. Very, very cool. That's a killer. Looks like a Darl possibly. It's interesting base. It's a pretty thin point. It's got a really good tip on it. I'm happy with that. Wow, what a day we're having. Beautiful, beautiful artifact. Just gorgeous. I think this is a Darl point. Also, special thanks to my boss, Rosemary. I was supposed to work today, but she allowed me to come out here and dig, and I'm very, very grateful for her and all my coworkers. They know I love to dig, and I'm sure they're happy for me, so thank y'all so much. Can't wait to share this with y'all. All right, I'm gonna take a lunch break, and then we'll start back right here. Until then. All right, everyone, welcome back. It's time to do a cleanup video. I'm down in the creek bottom. Today was one of my best days ever hand digging. This is everything I found today. Truly incredible. So after lunch, I started digging and I found a nice dart point, and within minutes I found 2 other artifacts. It was really incredible. I didn't have my phone with me. I was charging it in the car, so I didn't get the pull videos. But this artifact, this one, and the drill all came out after lunch within like 10-15 minutes of each other. I was just so thrilled. So I'm done digging. It's been an amazing day. All right, so let's start with the first video we found today, this corner tang knife. It was the first artifact I found prepping the wall. Let's give it a dip. Some lighter material. Very cool, very, very cool. My first corner tang. My good buddy Greg, he would call this a pooter tang, but I don't care. It's not the most well made, but I'll take it. Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. All right. I'm just really kind of at a loss of words. I'm at shock. Especially when those 3 artifacts came out after lunch. All right, so I believe this dart point was next. I believe this is an Ocala type projectile point, maybe a Darl. Let's give it a dip, take a look at it. I'm just super grateful to have found these points today. It's nice and sunny, we'll get a good look at them. This one's got a lot of sand on it. I'll give it another dip. I'm happy Gene showed up when he did, and we got to pull this cache of cores together. Beautiful, beautiful. Give it one more dip. All right, I'm gonna zoom in. So again, I think this is an Ocala type projectile point. Thought it was missing the tip, but I don't know, it's mostly there. I'm happy with it either way. All right. Then next, I believe I was walking back to the car and I spotted a little bird point on the surface. Gene thinks it's a Bonham. I think it's a Purdy's type arrow point, but either way, cool find, beautiful material. So I found knives, I found dart points and arrow points and the drill. And a cache. Truly incredible. All right, let's keep going. I believe is this point next. This is a Marcos. Actually, I might have found the Marcos before that Ocala. Not exactly sure, but beautiful, beautiful. I have about 15 of these points. None of them are whole, meaning there's no chips on the base or the tip or the ears. This one, it looks like the base is all there in the ears, but it's missing the tip. Gorgeous material. All right. Then next, I believe, right before lunch was this. I'm calling it a darl. And it's going to light up. This thing is translucent. Beautiful material. That's what I'm talking about. That point is perfect. It's got a great base, good ears. They're not knocked off. It's got a good tip on it. Super sharp right here where my thumb is. Beautiful, beautiful artifact. That was right before lunch. And then this one was right after lunch. This is the first of the 3 in a row that I found, and it has a very similar base. I'm thinking they're the same artifact type, possibly. Let's take another look at it. Look at that base. It's got the expanding stem. Some people would call this a Lang type projectile point. It could be. The other one could be a Lang as well. It's got an impact fracture where the tip is. Very cool, very, very cool. So yeah, I'm gonna put that right there. Those points, they look very similar in my opinion. And then I found this little knife. It was all the way over to the left. I was about to abandon that spot. I was hitting throw dirt and old sand, and this guy popped out. Looks like a knife. Very cool, very, very cool. It's got a little cortex here on the base. Give it another dip. Awesome. I'm sorry I didn't get the pulls of these last 3, but I was just kind of living in the moment. It was really hot. My phone hasn't been doing good in the heat. It was over in the car, and well, I wasn't really expecting it, so, but I'm happy to have found them. It could be a preform, but I'm thinking it's just a knife. I have to study it more. Okay. And then this drill. I've never found a drill like this. It's got an interesting base. Kind of similar to these two here. It's got an expanding stem. Some people might call this a Casterville drill, maybe an Ender drill. I'm not really sure. It's the first one like it that I found. All right, let's give it a dip. Very cool. It's 2-tone color. It's got this yellow running through it. Awesome, awesome. I mean, look at that day. A knife, drill, knife, dart point, arrowhead, and 3 dart points. And the cache of Georgetown blue material cores. This rock was right in with all of this, so it's part of the cache as well. Could be a large hammer stone. We also found a few pieces. That looks like a midsection. This is a little midsection. It's broken. And then I found this on the sifting table. It's just a tip to a projectile point. Let's give it a little dip. Oh wow, that's interesting. That looks like the same material of the corner tang. Let's see here. It's light colored. It's got a few little speckles in there. Man, this is almost the same exact material. I don't know, probably not. The tip's finally made, but it's almost identical material. All right, so there we have it. That's our day. It's been one of my best days hand digging ever. I'll try to get the video from Gene of us pulling this cache of Georgetown material cores. Very interesting stuff to study here. This is my second cache to find digging at the Hogeye. The first one was a similar cache to this. It was a 5-piece cache. I donated that to Gene to the museum, but I'm going to keep this one to study it. This piece here was the first one out, and it's not Georgetown. I think it's Edwards Church, and the rest of these I believe are Georgetown blue. It's got that beautiful white cortex on them. Some of them have patina. This one has patina. This is a really neat piece. It's kind of been worked on this edge. Super, super cool. Here, let me give one of these a dip. They look real pretty when you clean them up. All right, well, I think I'm gonna wrap the video up there. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for joining me on one of my best days hand digging. Until next time, stay curious, my friends.